This video is about how to practice awakened doing. It's a concept that comes from Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth, and it's the alignment of our outer purpose, or what we do, with our inner purpose, which is awakening and staying awake. And by awakening, we usually mean awakening to the truth of who we are. Basically, together, our outer purpose and our inner purpose form our true purpose, or why we incarnated. So let's see how we can practice awakened doing so that we can live our true purpose. The book says there are 3 modalities of awakened doing: acceptance, enjoyment, and enthusiasm. It says modality is the underlying energy frequency that flows into what you do. It also says that when we are not operating from one of those 3 modalities, then we are operating from the ego, which is the opposite of awakened doing. I'll quickly go over acceptance and then we'll focus more on enjoyment and enthusiasm. The book says that acceptance means, for now, this is what this situation or this moment requires me to do, and so I do it willingly. It says performing an action in the state of acceptance means that you're at peace while you do it. Acceptance does not mean that we don't try to change a situation we don't like if we can change it. It means that if we can't change it, then we must accept it. Otherwise, we resist it and we are sort of out of alignment with the universe. Resistance tells us that we are operating from the ego. This part of the book really reminded me of the Serenity Prayer that goes like, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. It's not always easy. I would say there are many moments in the past couple of years when I was absolutely not in a state of acceptance. I was clearly resisting situations, and because of that I experienced anxiety, I would say mild symptoms of depression, and I just wasted a ton of energy. I guess that acceptance comes from wisdom and also probably a very strong belief that we are the creators of our reality and not victims of it. The second modality is enjoyment, which is a bit challenging to grasp at first. It's not related to the task itself or its nature, but to how we do it, or our state of consciousness as we do it. The book says you will enjoy any activity in which you are fully present. Any activity that is not just a means to an end. It isn't the action you perform that you really enjoy, but a deep sense of aliveness that flows into it. Can you remember the last time you were in a state of flow, when you were so fully immersed in what you were doing that you completely lost track of time and forgot about the sounds and even the people around you? I think that's what the book is referring to. I also think that to be in a state of flow, we must first be in a state of acceptance. Because if we keep thinking of how much we dislike the task and keep resisting it, it'll be very difficult to be fully present with it. For example, there was a class in my degree, I have a degree in business and marketing, there was a class I really disliked. It was stats. I hated it so much, I missed all the class. I went to the first one and I never went back. And 2 weeks before the midterms, I kind of panicked because that class was mandatory and I really had to take it. I had no choice. I had to make peace with it and do it. And because there were just 2 weeks before the exam, I had to study really fast. So I really focused and I got into a state of flow. And I remember that strangely, I almost enjoyed studying for that class. Not because of the class, not because of stats, but because of the flow state. It's just such an enjoyable state. There's an exercise in the book, I'm going to share it with you before I go into the third modality, enthusiasm. In the book, Eckhart Tolle says that a good way to practice true enjoyment is to make a list of mundane tasks that you do most days. For example, it could be washing the dishes or folding laundry or taking a shower or maybe like driving to work. And then try to be fully present when you do the tasks on your list. And try to feel, in Eckhart Tolle's words, a sense of alert and alive stillness that emerges from being present. And the third modality is enthusiasm. The book says, enjoyment of what you're doing, combined with a goal or vision that you work toward, becomes enthusiasm. It's when you have an exciting vision and still deeply focus and deeply enjoy the process or the journey. Let's say you're in a small band and you want to become a rock star. So you have a goal to become a rock star, but you also deeply enjoy the process. You deeply enjoy playing music with your band. You're not anxious or you don't feel frustration because you're not a rock star today, because you really genuinely enjoy playing music just as much as the idea of becoming a rock star. Enthusiasm also implies that we are not attached to the outcome. It reminds me of something Vishen Lakhiani, who's the founder of Mind Valley, says. He says, keep the big vision, keep the big goals, but be happy now. There's also Abraham Hicks who says something similar. He says, be deeply satisfied now and still eager for more. But as soon as there's anxiety and frustration, and as soon as we are attached to the outcome, then we're operating from the ego. And the book says enthusiasm and the ego cannot coexist. A sentence that summarizes well this chapter is, not what you do, but how you do what you do determines whether you're fulfilling your destiny. And how you do what you do is determined by your state of consciousness. Again, to practice awaken doing, we must be in one of the three modalities: acceptance, enjoyment, or enthusiasm. Otherwise, we are operating from the ego and we are causing suffering to ourselves and to other people, even if it's to a small degree. I hope you found this information helpful. It was very helpful to me. And I highly encourage you to read the whole book if you have time. It's excellent from the beginning to the end. Thank you very much for watching until the end. I really appreciate it. I wish you a beautiful day and I'll see you next week.